Congressman Trey Growdy. Sir, good evening. Good to have you with us tonight.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So, we heard a lot in there today, and one of the things that Jeff Sessions was trying to do was to make it very clear that he felt he played no improper role whatsoever during the campaign. At one point, he was grilled about whether or not he had met with the Russian ambassador. He said, I never said that I had never met a Russian. I said that there was never any intention to collude or to have any kind of relationship with regards to the campaign. Do you think he persuaded the committee on that today?
I don't think he persuaded the committee because I don't think the committee is very open-minded. I think his audience was the American people, and I think they understand. Sometimes it's hard to recall the details of conversations from 12 months ago. Ironically, in every courtroom across the country, we have this concept called a refresh recollection, where a witness forgets something and then a lawyer will hand them a document or a photo that refreshes their recollection. We don't do that in Congress. We want to play gotcha, and if you don't remember a room that you were in 12 months ago or a person you met outside of a restaurant, we think we have a perjury case. So I don't think anybody's mind was changed because I don't think anybody went with an open mind.
In terms of the issue, the president has said that he would like the Justice Department to be more open-minded to reopening some of the investigations with regard to Hillary Clinton and with regard to Uranium One in particular. Here's an exchange with your colleague, Mr. Jordan, Congressman Jordan, on the issue of appointing a special counsel with that in mind. Watch this.
What's it going to take to actually get a special counsel?
It will take a factual basis that meets the standards of the appointment of a special counsel.
Well, we know one fact. We know the Clinton campaign, the Democrat National Committee paid for, through the law firm, paid for the dossier. We know that happened. And it sure looks like the FBI was paying the author of that document. Doesn't that warrant naming a second special counsel, as 20 members of this committee wrote you 3.5 months ago asking you to do?
So, Congressman Growdy, do you think we're going to see a special counsel appointed by Attorney General Sessions based on what you heard today?
I don't know, Martha, but I did like his answer, which is we're going to follow the facts wherever they go. Robert Mueller, it is within his jurisdiction to look at all of Russia's efforts to influence the election, and that might possibly include funding a dossier. So you wouldn't need a special counsel for that. And I think General Sessions' broader point is we don't need a special counsel for every fact pattern. You do have a Department of Justice with women and men who have dedicated their careers to the enforcement of the law, and you have 94 U.S. attorneys' offices. So while I love Jimmy Jordan, and he's a 3-time NCAA wrestling champion, so I don't like disagreeing with him, and he is a very good friend. But what I would say to Jimmy and all my other friends is special counsel is when there's a conflict of interest with the Department of Justice or all 94 U.S. attorneys. I think we all think factual predicates should be investigated if there's a basis to do so. Whether that's done by special counsel or the Department of Justice really is of no consequence to me.
There's been a lot of discussion. Let me ask you about the Roy Moore situation for a moment, because there's been some speculation that perhaps Jeff Sessions would go back to Alabama, take his Senate seat back again. That would open up the Attorney General position. The president would appoint a new person. They've had their differences on things when it comes to the Russia investigation. What do you think about that?
That is the most involved fact pattern hypothetical that I have had all day long. I don't know if any of that's going to happen. I don't know if Roy Moore is going to stay on the ballot. I don't know if he's going to win. I don't know if he's going to be seated. Attorney General Sessions was I thought, really poignant today in telling me the Department of Justice is kind of his dream job. He's already been in the U.S. Senate, so I don't know what's going to happen in Alabama. I assume Attorney General Sessions is going to stay as long as the president wants him to stay. So that's my mind is not smart enough to process all those ifs.
All right. Well, one quick question on tax reform, which we just spoke about with Speaker Ryan. What do you think about the Senate proposal to include the repeal of Obamacare or the individual mandate as part of their tax reform bill?
I think I agree with everything Paul Ryan just told you, and I want to congratulate you on having a fantastic town hall with the most knowledgeable member of the House. I am going to eat dinner tonight with Tim Scott, who is my friend in the Senate and helped draft the Senate version, and I will get him to explain to me why they included that in there. I think Paul's point was was well taken, at least by me. We're going to keep that separate from what we do on the House side. But there's a reason we go to conference, and if it's in the House bill, not the Senate bill, we'll resolve all that in the conference committee.
All right. Well, Paul Ryan said compliment Trey Growdy on his Gordon Gekko look tonight.
I'm sure he did. I'm quite sure he did.
Just thought I'd pass that along.
Yes,
Congressman Trey Growdy, always a pleasure.
Time now for a final exam where you pit two of the smartest people we know against one another to find out who knows more about this week's news. We're joined tonight by two Fox News guest people you know well. A.B. Stoddard is associate editor at Real Clear Politics. Mark Stein is an author and columnist and sits in to host this show. They join us both. Great to see you. Neither one of you has been on the show. We have no even prediction for who's going to win.
Not at all.
May a fair fight commence. Okay, here are the rules. You put your hands on the buzzers. I'm going to ask the questions. The first one of you to buzz in gets to answer the question. You have to wait until I finish asking the question in order to buzz in. Each correct answer is worth a point. If you get one wrong, you lose a point. It's like the SAT that way. Best of 5 wins. The winner, by the way, gets the coveted mouth breather mug.
I want that so badly.
See, America does.
But it's an inside job, and even though I'm already palmed down, Mark.
It's an inside
I'm trying to be at the ready. It's an inside job.
Shannon Bream's got a full dinner service of that after.
Shannon Bream has won 3 weeks in a row. Exactly. All right, here's the first question.
She's got the mouth breather creamer and sugar bowl.
We need to do that.
The ramekins.
Question 1. Which tech billionaire bought an $80 million plot of land in the state of Arizona this week to build what he's calling a high-tech smart city? Tech billionaire, $80 million piece of property in Arizona to build a tech city.
I am so excited that we're both pausing.
Mark Stein.
Jeff Bezos?
Jeff Bezos. Good guess. Is that the correct answer to the tape?
Gates snapping up 25,000 acres. Thousands of acres in Arizona. That's huge. Price tag $80 million. 80,000 homes and plenty of room for industry with high-speed data centers and self-driving cars. Are you ready for this, Bill?
Bill Gates, a planned community. Would you want to live there?
I wouldn't want to live in any community planned by Bill Gates because it's like living in Windows 97 for the rest of your life.
That's exactly right. I totally agree. All right, question 2. During his 12-day trip to Asia, the continent, President Trump was serenaded by a world leader. Which Asian president sang him a love song that included these lyrics? "You are the light in my world"? ABS.
Duterte of the Philippines.
Duterte of the Philippines, says Alexander A.B. Stoddard. To the tape.
And at the ASEAN dinner, Duterte sang a love song with a famous Filipino pop star, saying he did it on orders from President Trump.
The orders of the Commander-in-Chief of the United States.
That's the best since Putin did Blueberry Hill. That
is really
great.
That is fantastic. I know,
you know what?
Killed a lot of people,
you know what? I learned about that through reading, and that was my first time actually hearing it. It was really painful.
Wow.
Yeah, that was. I don't want to see that again. I can't.
You're an old school journalist.
I can't unhear it.
All right. Question 3 is a multiple choice question.
Oh dear. When do we press?
Magazine. Yes. As soon as I give you all 3 answers, People Magazine, which still exists, just named the 2017 sexiest man alive. Was it 1, Chris Hemsworth, 2, Brad Pitt, or 3, Blake Shelton? But wait, there was an honorable mention, actually, and that goes to our very own Mark Stein. I think we have him on the screen. Mark Stein, sexiest man alive.
I was going to say Mark Stein, but I think I'll go with Chris Hemsworth.
Chris
Wrong.
Hemsworth.
It's Blake.
Well, we'll find out. Chris Hemsworth.
Was that inappropriate?
Does the tape confirm Mark Stein's guess of Chris Hemsworth?
Have you seen this yet? People Magazine's annual Sexiest Man Alive edition. That honor goes to Blake Shelton this year.
I don't get the point because I banged at the wrong time, right?
That's true.
Okay, well,
I was
let
wrong.
the record show.
Do you know who Chris Hemsworth is?
Yeah, isn't he the mighty Thor?
I have no idea.
Neither do I.
But you knew it was Blake Shelton.
I did.
Do you know who he is?
No. I just heard it in the
But you knew
background
he was
while I
the
was getting
sexiest
ready
man.
for work on like some TV show or radio show that I had on.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
My guess, Chris Cuomo, but he was not on the list. Question 4. A painting of Jesus sold for nearly $500 million yesterday at an auction in New York City. The artwork was created by which Renaissance painter? Mark Stein.
I know this one. Leonardo da Vinci, as the New York Post put it.
Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah.
Does the tape confirm Leonardo?
The painting, which depicts Jesus, is referred to as the last Da Vinci because it's believed to be the only painting by the artist still in private hands. 19 minutes after the opening gavel, the painting sold for $450 million, the highest price ever for a piece of art.
Leonardo is right, and not DiCaprio.
No, and that will retain its value longer than your Microsoft stock or Amazon or any of that. Yeah, $500 million for that. That will pay off in a...
Very impressive. If I'm looking for a new investment advisor, you're the man.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. This is your chance.
Buy Leonardo. That's good advice.
Well, we're going to see if you can get back to zero.
Okay.
Okay, back to equilibrium, stasis, par. Okay, final question. Boston Dynamics, the robotics company, just came out with a rechargeable robotic pet to keep sad people company. The robot is modeled after which kind of animal? Mark Stein.
Based on what they have in Japan, I think I'm going to go with cat.
Cat. Is a robotic cat the answer?
Look at this. Boston Dynamics have developed what it says the most
creepy video.
I kind of like it.
Yeah.
That's a robotic dog. It's called
terrifying.
Oh, my God. It's nasty. It's 55 pounds, all electric.
Oh,
it can go 19 minutes on a charge. But I have no idea what it's for.
Resemble
Any idea?
To creep us out.
They creep us out.
A cat was a great guess because consider the market they're aiming at, right? It's obviously a cat market. But as AB pointed out, it looks more like an insect than a dog.
It doesn't look like a dog at all.
AB Stoddard, you win. Oh. You get the mouth breather mug. Congratulations.
I
Mark
know
Stein,
that when
good
Mark,
job.
I know when Mark anchors the show, he gets a freebie.
Yes,
so
he
I
does.
Feel badly.
I'm holding out for the Shannon Bream creamer.
I covet this.
I'm throwing out my Tucker Carlson dinners.
Congratulations to you both.